What's happening, everybody? Welcome back. This is Forgo, and the patch notes have dropped, and we have a lot of other information that we need to talk about, starting with Silk's uniform. And unfortunately, this is going to be the paywall. We're gonna be able to acquire her by making purchases in the game, get these 30 tokens, and they are putting enchanters in here. And if you are willing to spend some money, get some more tokens, you can get a CTP selector, premium comic card chest. I mean, for a lot of players, this isn't going to matter unless they're willing to spend some dollars, which I'm actually in a situation right now where I really can't, to be perfectly honest. So I don't know if I'm going to end up getting her uniform or not, but we pretty much figured it was going to be Silk. There was no way they were going to make Quicksilver the paywall uniform. It just wasn't going to happen. Being a native tier 2, I didn't see that happening at all. But this is unfortunately how we're going to be able to acquire her after the update. And then we got, them letting us know the maintenance time, and the maintenance notes here. It's going to start at 11 p.m. It's going to last until 6 p.m. So you're looking at a 7-hour maintenance period, pretty long maintenance period. But, we're going to get 5 new uniforms, 5 new characters to get their potential realized. We got the new transcended characters with Hulkbuster and Rescue. We got a new addition of CTP Authority Reforging. I know a lot of you won't give a crap about that. Some people might, especially for PvP. We'll talk about that a little bit later. We got the addition of ISO set auto set change, which is amazing. Quality of life change. Menu UI improvements, which might be a quality of life change as well. Dispatch mission acquire button improvement, quality of life change. And then we have a new season of Future Pass, okay. And we have the new uniform collection, which a lot of people don't really care about. Then we got some game error fixes, and so on, so on, so on. So let's jump into the update details and let's talk about this thing. So, we're getting Dr. Doom's tier 3, we're getting Rescue and Hulkbuster, getting Awakened. And we scroll down here, and then of course the Summer Day uniforms are coming in with Quicksilver and Silk. Man, there is some really good things in this update. I'm actually very, very excited. Really, honestly, the biggest bummer is Silk. That's really the biggest bummer, the fact that we're going to have to go out and we're going to have to spend money on that uniform. But then we scroll down to Doom here. And Doom, he's going to get, of course, he's still universal supervillain. He's going to get the increased all attack by 20%. And then his uniform effect is going to give him the decrease all damage received by 40%. And the fact that he's going to have ignore target dodge rate by 50% for 18 seconds. I mean, that's really good. Could be really good for null, but it also can be really good for PvP, where this decreased damage received can actually come in handy. The extra chain hit damage by 15% when attacking is nice. It's really good that they're giving him chain hit damage. And then decreased damage received from reflected effects by 60%, which is actually really nice. Could be good for PvP. And then they increased his penetration from 50% to 55%. So, I mean, it's a little bit better, but it's not really going to make that much of a difference as far as penetration is concerned. The decreased damage, though, is nice. The one skill, they definitely changed this thing. This thing was 10%. Now it's 30%. However, the one skill currently is kind of a pain. It's like real difficult. You got to cancel that thing super, super fast. Pretty annoying. Hopefully, it's going to be much smoother when we cancel the skill. If it is, this is going to be really nice. If it isn't, it's going to make me to where you're really going to want to rage on them, which kind of sucks. But there's other things that hasn't changed in this kit where you think a rage is probably still going to be the best, unfortunately. But we'll see. And then we got the second skill, which they gave an ignore iframe to. So, and this thing is on a 6.5 second cooldown, so pretty low cooldown, and it removes active buff from target. It has incapacitation, fracture. So, I mean, this looks like PvP, man. This looks like PvP big time. When you see that ignore iframe, it's a counter attack. The decrease all damage received. I mean, yeah, we'll see. And then the fourth skill gives him a massive 45% increase of all attack. And then he has all defense down and paralysis, things that he didn't have before. So this is actually very, very powerful, especially for a regular world boss. In fact, he's got that all defense down. That goes up to 55%. Very, very nice. Really happy to see it. Unfortunately, his fifth skill still has this insanely long damn cooldown, which is a bummer. They kept the heal, which is nice. But that long cooldown, God almighty, that sucks. And that's another reason why the rage is probably going to be #1 for Doom, which is unfortunate. But we will try him with a proc, obviously, and see how well he can play. I currently have a rage on him right now. Then we get down to Rescue, who, she's getting the typical all attack by 50%. They kept her a blast, of course, superhero, and then applies to all allies 25% increase of recovery rate. Okay, I mean, if characters have a heal, I guess that can help a little bit. Okay, it's really kind of wacky that she gets this 25% increase of recovery rate that applies to all allies. Honestly, a lot of characters aren't going to benefit from this, and it really isn't going to help that much. Maybe it will in certain situations in AC with other characters if she's on the team. But yeah, I think for most players it's really not going to matter. And then her leadership applies to all allies. Activation rate when HP is below 99% creates a shield that is 50% of max HP for 5 seconds. So you can get a shield. Okay, it's kind of whatever. So far, her shield really hasn't been that relevant in the game. And then her skill active 1, you can actually move it now, which is something you couldn't do before. The third skill gives her a massive heal. She didn't have this before, 35% recovery of max HP. That's really awesome. It's got a paralysis that applies to world boss, but it's only for 0.1 seconds. But okay, I mean, it's a little bit, I guess. And then we have summon illusions. And then the fourth skill, this is the same as it was before. Increase all attack by 25%. They really didn't do nothing here. The crit rate is the same. And then her fifth skill, super armor, 5-second immunity. I mean, this is all the same as it was before. So it's really going to rely on her awakened skill and how many hits her uniform is actually doing now. Then we need to scroll down to Hulkbuster. Now, Hulkbuster's got some pretty unique stuff. Well, not really unique, but could be pretty helpful for a certain character in the game. So he's still a combat, but you know, his uniform effect, activation rate when HP is below 99%, applies to self, gives him a nice 3% recovery max HP. This is an amazing heal. I mean, this is the old Wolverine heal. This is nice. That's really going to help his survivability big time. It's going to make him better for PvP, and obviously it's going to give him a lot better survivability in PvE, so that's actually really good. But check this leadership out. This is awesome. So they bumped up his leadership to 35% increase of all attack. This applies to all allies. So all characters are going to benefit from this, and applies to Iron Man. 70% increase of all attack. What? 70% plus 35% is 105% all attack to Iron Man. That's crazy, guys. That is an amazing leadership. People will probably be awakening him just for Iron Man. Now, the thing that sucks about this is it's still a decent leadership, the 35% increase of all attack for all characters, but it does kind of suck because it's catering only to one character. Now, a very special character that many of us love, including myself, who has a very strong uniform now. But is it going to be worth awakening him for that? It's going to really depend on you and how much you love Iron Man. I think he's going to probably end up being a very good support for Iron Man. We'll see how strong he's going to be, because I'm actually a little worried about his damage output compared to other characters in the game. But as far as helping Iron Man out, yeah, he's going to be pretty much insane, pretty awesome. And then his passive applies to Cell, gives him a 30% increase of max HP. Again, that is amazing. And then applies to technological allies, 35% increase of max HP. So again, you know, if characters have the technological ally capability, then he's going to give them more HP, which is going to increase his survivability. So characters that even have a heal, that's going to help a lot. Then we have his tier 2 passive, gives him the super armor, which is nice, and increases skill damage by 40%, increase bonus damage by 35%, and decrease all damage speed by 30%. So it's really awesome that they made him more of a tank, which is what he should be. Really happy to see that. And then the first skill is nothing really major. The second skill, nothing major here. And this third skill has an insane amount of tech. So it's a counterattack, and it does ignore iframe, and it is on about a 9-second cooldown. It's a little bit long of a cooldown, but definitely going to be helpful in AC. Could be good in timeline. We'll see. That's a pretty long cooldown for that ignore iframe, but knowing that he's going to have all this extra HP, knowing that he's going to have all that heal, I mean, maybe. We'll see. We'll see. Very possible. They did give him a immunity for 5 seconds. They also gave him accumulation that's based on how much damage you deal, which is amazing, but it's only 0.6%, so it's kind of like, it's good that it's in his kit. I'm really happy that it's in his kit, so everybody that buys his uniform, the uniform's going to benefit that much more from having this. This really is going to make them a lot stronger. And let's face facts, most players, their goal is going to be try to awaken or transcend whatever characters that have awakening or transcending available. That way they can take advantage of them and use them in multiple game modes in the game, because as many of you know, you need characters to be tier 3 or awakened to be able to use them in certain game modes. But I really wish that accumulation would have been a little bit more, but you never know how strong characters are going to be until you actually play them. And then the fourth skill gives him invincibility. So he's got immunity and invincibility and all that heal. So I mean, I'm seeing a lot of survivability tools in Hulkbuster's kit, big time. And then he does have the all defense down that goes up to 50%, which is good. It's not bad. I wish it was a little bit more. And then his fifth skill gives him an increased all attack by 35%, and it does have a paralysis that works on more balls. So it's actually really good. So, I mean, he's got a great kit. He really does. He's got a very, very good looking kit. I am a little worried that his damage output won't be what a lot of people really want for him, but he might be a meta in PvP. Could be. And then we get down to Silk, which is, well, it's disappointing and it isn't. It's disappointing because it's a paywall uniform. It isn't disappointing when you look at this damn kit. So obviously she's still a speed superhero. Check this thing out. Increases chain hit damage by 18% when attacking, and then ignore target dodge rate by 40%. Yep. She's also a speed type. She's also going to have the type advantage against Mephisto, and she's going to be a lot better against Null because she's going to have the ignore target dodge rate from her uniform effect, and that's always going to be up on top of the chain hit damage. And then her passive here, this is wild. So activation rate when web skill is used, so whenever you use your webbing, this is going to increase your guaranteed critical rate by 45%. She's going to have guaranteed critical rate by 45%. And that's going to be up all the time. And then she gets a 45% increase of all attack. That's massive for Silk. She absolutely needs that. And then her tier 2 passive increases guaranteed dodge for electric survivability, and the skill damage goes up. And then she also gets a decrease all damage received by 30%. So they're making a character that, well, I mean, she is a spider character. So, I mean, yeah, they're making her a little tanky. And then you got the one skill, nothing really major there. And then you got the second skill. This, again, has ignore iframe. I'm seeing a lot of ignore iframes in these kits. I'm almost wondering if we're going to have a PvP meta in this update. I mean, seriously, this is insane. And look at the cooldown, that damn thing. 4-second cooldown. You're going to be able to use this every 4 seconds. I mean, she might be really good for PvP. Wow. But check this out. Then she gets an increased all attack by 45% on top of the freaking, 45% here, right? It is nuts. But it gets only better, my friends, because she also gets the increased critical rate by 30%, so it's going to be easy to max out her critical rate stats. And then on top of that, she gets another increased damage by 30% for 2 attacks. So this is a damage proc that actually works whenever you land one attack. It actually will carry over, and you'll get another 30% increased attack on your second attack. So it's actually really good. And then they also give her 4 seconds of invincibility. Thank you so much, Nat Marble, for that one. And they gave her an all defense down that starts off at 10%, which is great, and stacks up to 55%. This is actually very, very good, especially the fact that it starts off at 10%. You only get to land about 5 hits, and you max out your all defense down. That is awesome. And her fifth skill, increase all attack by 42%. I mean, she's got attack buffs all over the place. Silk looks insane. This uniform looks nuts. And then she's got a crazy heal, 25% recovery of max HP. I mean, and she's got penetration. She can penetrate everything except for invincibility. If they put invincibility on here, I'd have a little bit more faith that she become a total meta. But the fact that they didn't, we'll see. But still, I mean, I do believe Silk's going to be entering PvP very strongly, and obviously her damage is going to be skyrocketed. It's going to be a 0 to hero uniform, especially considering the place that she's coming from. She's in a worse place than Hulkbuster. Silk is terrible right now. And then we go into Quicksilver. Now, Quicksilver's uniform effect applies to self. Attack speed increases by 10%. We don't give a damn about that. And then increases chain hit damage by 50% when attacking. I mean, don't get me wrong, attack speed's good, but most players can max that out anyways with their ISO 8 sets, with their uniform bonuses, so it's not really a big deal. Or they have enough attack speed on their cards, they don't even need to worry about it. And then his ultimate skill, he's got the remove all debuff, ignore target dodge rate, the all defense down. I'm not really sure if Quicksilver had all defense down in his kit already or not. Let me take a look here. Let's see here. No, he doesn't. He doesn't have all defense down on this thing. So they added the all defense down for Quicksilver, which is pretty massive, my friends. They kept the 100% damage for 1 attack. That's awesome. Wow. And then we have, let's see here. And then his tier 2 passive, the guaranteed dodge rate, which is great. The ignore target dodge rate by 50%. That's the same as it always was. And then the one skill, incapacitation, paralysis. Nice. Nice to get a little crowd control. The second skill, okay, whatever. The third skill, He still has a nice damage accumulation. I believe it's the same damage accumulation that he already has. Plus 1%. Yeah, it's the same as it was before. Still the same heal. The dodge rate's the exact same as it was before. So they didn't change anything on the third skill. The fourth skill, again, has ignore iframe. So Quicksilver might be entering the meta again as far as PvP. I mean, we got to ignore iframes up and down this freaking, all these new uniforms. This is crazy. And then he gets an increased all attack by 40% on the fourth skill. Whoa, oh man, that's beautiful, my friends. It's beautiful. That's exactly what you want to see. And then here, hopefully we just got some more hits. And then we see the potential increase for all of these characters, which nobody ever plays with, except for maybe in Shadowland. One of these days, maybe Warlock will actually get a damn uniform and actually be worth building, especially considering he's a native tier 2. And maybe one of these days, this guy will actually get a tier 3. And I wouldn't mind seeing a little love for these other characters as well. Especially, well, really any of these three. And then Dr. Doom's tier 3 ultimate skill. And Dr. Doom, the supervillain, has mastered both science and magic. Yeah, blah, 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 blah. We go down here. Now, check this guy. This guy has a freaking insane tier 3. It might remind you of somebody that's already in the game. So, you know, deals the burn damage. You know, he's got the all defense down. It goes up to 70%. It starts off at 5%. And he does an insane amount of hits. So it won't take him long to cap out that all defense down. That's massive for regular world boss and really for the story mode, right? Even for the dispatch missions, this is actually very, very good. And then applies to self. He has ignore target dodge rate by 70%, which is massive. Invincibility, increased damage by 70% for one attack. So he's got a damage proc on this skill. And then this is where it gets real good. 100% increase of charge rate to accumulated true damage effect for 10 seconds. Do you know who else has this effect? Let me show you. Let me show you who else has this insane effect. If you guys don't know, it is Sharon Rogers. Sharon Rogers has the exact same thing. 100% increase of charge rate to accumulate true damage effect. What this means is whenever you do their damage accumulation skill, the third skill here, normally you got to take damage with this skill. But whenever you hit that tier 3, you get all the accumulated damage all at once. You don't have to take damage. You can literally hit the 3 and cancel in the tier 3 and get the maximum amount of accumulated damage all at once. And Dr. Doom is getting the same thing. And we all know how strong Sharon Rogers is, even to this day. And then having that damage proc on top of it, I mean, this makes me so happy. Now, I do want to point out something that I noticed from Dr. Doom. We need to go back up here a little bit. But Dr. Doom, they never show his third skill here. They never show his third skill. So I guess it's going to be the same as it always was with the damage, damage accumulation based on how much damage you take. Because if you take a look at him, this is damage accumulation based on the damage you take. But when you do his tier 3, like Sharon Rogers, you'll hit this skill, you'll go into your tier 3, and you'll get the maximum amount of accumulated damage. Normally, damage accumulation based on how much damage you take kind of sucks. But Sharon Rogers is actually insanely good because she gets the maximum amount of accumulated damage whenever she does that tier 3. And Dr. Doom's going to have the same thing. So actually, I'm not complaining. I think it's fantastic. And I'm actually super happy to see that they did this for Doom. God almighty, I hope that tier 3 is insane. I hope it's insane. And you can see it right here. I would enlarge it, but it'd be all blurry and look like crap. And then we got Rescuing Hulkbuster, Potential Awakening Transcended Potential. You can look at Hulkbuster here. He does have all defense down. It only goes up to 50%. It's not really that good. I mean, it'd been nicer to see 60%, 70%. It's nice he's got a damage proc by 50% for one attack. It's the typical, run-of-the-mill crap that they always put on all these Awakened characters. I mean, honestly, it's kind of boring what Netmarble does with the Awakened characters. It's almost like, it's pretty much almost a copy and paste. The same thing over and over. The only thing they might change up is maybe they'll put accumulation on a skill. Maybe they'll put different amounts of all defense down. Or if they even put all defense down on awakened skills, maybe there's a damage proc. But that's about it. Maybe there's a remove all debuff, which he does have. And then Rescue, she gets, I mean, it's a run-of-the-mill, same old, same old. She gets a damage proc by 35%, I mean, which is good. But the rest of it is, and then she has no all defense down. Am I reading that right? She has no all defense down. Well, that kind of sucks. But here's the thing. Against Null and Mephisto, that doesn't matter. That doesn't matter at all. We want to see some raw damage anyways, and she's pretty damn strong to begin with already. And you can see their awakened skills, which look pretty freaking cool. I'm not going to lie, I think I like the version with Hulkbuster a little bit better, to be honest with you guys. I just like the fact that Rescue gets behind him and just reminds you of in-game whenever Iron Man is shooting a blast, or whenever Thor shoots a blast into Iron Man. It just reminds me of that. And then we get to CTP of Authority Reforging. And yeah, so I'll bring this up for you guys. And you can see here that we have a little something here as far as Reforging Authority. So essentially what they're doing here is now we can reforge CTP of Authority. And I know a lot of people don't give a damn about this, but it's just going to allow you to do a lot of damage. I mean, you can see over here with the Brilliant version, right? This is the Brilliant, this is the Mighty. I mean, you're going to get a increase all attack by 20%. Or, well, this or this, right? You either get the decrease all damage received by 30% and an additional decrease by 20% of concentration. And then you'll get the increase all attack. So the all attack is just going to be a solid stat buff, making your character a whole lot stronger. And then onto the Brilliant, you can get either the decrease all damage received by 60%. And this is a PvP obelisk, so for some people this might be pretty relevant. We'll see how this plays out, but 60% decreased damage received is insane, and this is going to apply to heroes, villains, everybody. That is strong. And then applies to self, increase all attack and all defenses by 32%. So I mean, if you're willing to reforge a CTP of Authority, you're going to have some pretty insane survivability with that damn thing. And then we have the ISO set convenience improvements, which this is fantastic. They did the same thing like what they did with the Uru system. You can just go into the Urus, you can just click the button, let it go, and it amplifies all the slots for you. You don't have to sit there and keep pressing the button and resetting it. And they did the same thing for the ISO set, which is, thank you so much, Netmarble. Wonderful, wonderful. Then we have some UI improvements. We'll see how this plays out. I kind of like this actually, but it does look a little perplexing, maybe for some players. And then dispatch mission, next reward. An improvement has been made to dispatch mission and acquire button. Okay, so you can just acquire all of your rewards, I believe, with one button, which is awesome. Nice little quality of life change. Then we have the future pass, and yeah, I mean, nothing really special in here, just the same old run-of-the-mill stuff. You can get the icon for Captain Marvel. If you're willing to spend $10, you can get that icon for her. And you can see it right here, pretty cool. And then you got X-23, Dr. Doom looking freaking, looking mean, vicious, man. Vicious. Then you got the uniform bonuses. Honestly, I never care about these damn things. It's just, honestly, the only reason people level up uniforms is for the stat bumps to increase the damage of the character, or just because they love them. This isn't worth shit, at least not in my opinion. And then we have other improvements. A legendary battle bonus pop-up screen has been improved so that agents can directly access missions. That's pretty cool. That's nice. And then agents can now check how much of each material they own on the selected difficulty screen and World Boss. All right. And then resets today. World Boss tab will also be displayed to agents below VIP level 2. For agents below VIP level 2, the tab will display information on the VIP system instead of being able to reset today's World Boss. Okay, so a little extra information for VIP 2 and above players. Mockery and Steel have been added to the skill name glossary. Okay, so you can learn about Mockery, which is something that Blue Marble has, and learn about Steel. And the name of the token that was rewarded in Dimension Missions will be changed to Support Token from Rift Token. And then the names, Item Shop, and Dimension Token, and Dispatch Mission will be changed to Dispatch Shop and Dispatch Token. And then we have a whole bunch of fixes. I'm not going to read any of this here. As you can scroll down here, I mean, so far we just have one like, no dislikes, and at least that is a good thing. But overall, I'm really, really happy with these changes. There's quite a few quality of life changes that I'm definitely digging. Honestly, the biggest disappointment for this entire patch is this. I mean, this is really the worst thing about it. But it is what it is. Netmarble's got to make their money, and this isn't the first time they've done this kind of thing. It does suck, though, that if you're not willing, or if you can't spend any money, that you won't be able to get this uniform. And that is a bum deal, because this thing does look insanely OP, my friends. So let me know how y'all feeling about this update. I am so excited, especially for Dr. Doom, knowing that he's going to have that tier 3, like Sharon Rogers. guys, oh my God, I'll tier 3 him just for that, man, just to see how strong he's going to be. So let me know how y'all feeling about the patch notes and everything you've seen today. And I do stream on Twitch at Reset. The link will be in the description below. And I hope you enjoyed the video. Thank you for watching. Y'all take care and have a good one. See ya.